Check the mic and make sure it sound right.
Hi, I'm DKWILL. Let's talk a little bit about this article here from October 1st. Today's October 2nd, where Ripple partners with Swift, expanding XRP's reach to 11,000 banks. There's a lot of things happening in the Ripple XRP arena, we'll call it. A lot of promising developments, and now the cat is out of the bag, and there's no need to be shy and coy about it anymore. They're just putting them out there. As a consequence, we should start to see the price rise if they're going to let too much information go out there, because there's also some big news besides this article that I'll try to cover in this video. I'll try to cover it quickly, succinctly, and excitingly. I'll tell you what I found most interesting about this article here, where it says Ripple has made significant strides in expanding access to XRP liquidity. The company's partner, Thunes, has integrated its pay-to-bank service in Swift's extensive network. This integration connects XRP to around 11,000 banks globally, opening new pathways for institutional adoption. And that's where I caught my interest on this article, because on the 30th of September, the SEC granted a no action letter to Ripple, which permitted the registered investment advisors and broker dealers to hold XRP in custody. Now, why is this relevant? Because that's necessary to be able to create these exchange traded funds. And so here we have a no action letter where registered investment advisors and brokers can hold XRP in custody. That also means that we don't have to always keep our coins, particularly XRP in this instance, on an online exchange. We can go with these broker dealers and these investment advisors. It says with such major firms such as Coinbase and BitGo receiving SEC authorization, Ripple gains substantial institutional support. These custodians can now store XRP for their clients without facing legal issues. The clarity surrounding custody rules gives Ripple a much needed boost for wider institutional adoption. That's pretty awesome. And if you like the content I'm providing, please make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. Then come back for more DK Will Talk About It. What about Swift? Swift's integration strengthens Ripple's global position. Ripple's partnership with Thunes has led to a breathtaking integration with Swift. And like I said in one of my prior videos, of course, they agreed earlier in last month that they were going to use XRP, took that question away. But I did mention that, Swift better play by this game or they're going to get pushed out of the way. So here we see where they're integrating and making themselves stay viable, stay alive, stay useful. Thune's Pay to Bank service is now part of the Swift network, which links XRP to 11,000 banks worldwide. This integration enables Ripple to leverage traditional banking infrastructure. Let me say that again. This integration enables Ripple to leverage traditional banking infrastructure, which processes trillions of dollars in transactions daily. That's also equally important. It says money runs on connectivity, emphasizing the importance of this partnership. The integration into Swift represents a strategic step for Ripple as it expands its XRP adoption. Now, here's the thing about it. Because Swift is the incumbent, they're treating Ripple like the little guy getting knighted to continue to go on in this financial industry. But the truth of the matter is, Swift had to play by Ripple's game if they wanted to stay viable. And Ripple and XRP and ODL and XRPL and stable coins and all of the crypto technology was going to take over anyway. What else you got, DK? Glad you asked. I have this article from yesterday. XRP Ledger rolls out the MPT standard for real world asset tokenization. So, not just the money flowing through the banks is Ripple's target. Now we have the real world asset tokenization standardized in a simplified manner. The XRP Ledger has launched the multi purpose token standard designed to simplify and secure tokenization of real world assets. Can you say all the money, boys and girls? In some of the prior videos, if you've been listening, I was saying how the new monetary system, you're going to be able to tokenize everything. You'll be able to tokenize your home equity. You'll be able to tokenize any other type of investments you'll have. You'll be able to tokenize any kind of asset you have that somebody else may want to buy. And you, just like a Bitcoin and a Satoshi, will be able to sell drops. And that's where the on chain blockchain cryptography and cryptocurrency comes into play. That's why when you buy cryptocurrency, they can take it to 8 decimal points in many instances because you will be able to buy portions. That's the reason Glint can tokenize gold and you can sell portions of your gold. You'll be able to tokenize anything of value, and Ripple will have all the money. And now they simplified and standardize the process. MPT integrates directly into the XRPL protocol, eliminating the need for custom smart contracts. This enables institutions to issue tokens efficiently while addressing regulatory and operational requirements. According to an ex post from Kenny, he noted that the token offers built in compliance functions, including Know Your Customer (KYC) and anti money laundering verification (AML). And that's through the OFAC process. I know that from being a bank manager and opening tons of accounts. Additionally, issues can define transfer rules, restrict token holding to approved users, and enforce supply caps. On-chain metadata allows automated reporting and enhances transparency, while transfer fees can be applied to manage transaction costs. On-chain metadata, like the prior video I did about Chainlink and the Department of Commerce providing metadata for the financial industries. All of this begins to tie in together. This XRP upgrade follows the successful Smart Escrow DevNet update released by developers last week. Changes related to fees and reserves, function signatures, multi-purpose token issuance, along with bug fixes and code cleanup. Now we see that institutional DeFi, real world assets, and compliance innovations have come together, and Ripple is certainly going after all of the money. The MPTs are set to support institutional decentralized finance or DeFi, enable pool lending, credit verification, tokenized collateral. Tokenized collateral, can you say AMP, boys and girls? The upcoming XRPL version is set to introduce a native lending protocol, enabling regulated low cost loans to be directly issued at the ledger level. Can you say monetizing your holdings by becoming a bank yourself, boys and girls? I just did. Maybe that's a possibility too. Ripple's roadmap identified tokenized assets and stablecoins as key components of its institutional strategy. According to the plan, the XRP ledger is intended to facilitate payments, lending, and settlement. It is also designed to integrate privacy features such as zero knowledge proofs, meaning they don't have to know nothing about you. They just have to make that transaction because it's already been verified through KYC and AML. It's a clean transaction. And if you're buying a piece of, say, at a condo in Florida, do you really need to know anything more than the fact that you own it? And that's where the NFTs actually come into play and have a better purpose than little digital monkeys and things like that. And this is very important because there's another avenue that's going to be opened up. And this is a little less timely news, but this one here, where Ripple announces a huge partnership involving Blackrock and Van Eck. Now, we're not going to cover this article here. It's from September 29th. But the point being, now the institutional giants are not staying quiet and being on their NDAs and hush hush like they were on the TV programs when that reporter asked Larry Fink about his involvement with Ripple and XRP. It's on the table now, folks, and that will open up the trillions of dollars I talked about in a prior video from the Aladdin that BlackRock uses, the 27 trillion at the time. I'll put the card up in the corner. But that's all I wanted to talk about. Things are happening fast, folks. A new monetary system is coming into place, folks, and there's nothing going to stop it. And so we can see now that SWIFT and XRP have expanded the reach to 11,000 banks. We can see that there's a simplified methodology in place for real world asset tokenization. Any asset you can think of, even art. I left that out. Real estate. I left that out. Anything you can buy and sell can get tokenized now. And of course, opening up the big monsters with somebody like Blackrock and Van Eck. I'm DK Will. This is DK Will Talk About It. And I talked about it. Have a wonderful day.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right.